7:49, what the fuck? I just came back from school. What's so wrong, bro? Let's call him up. Hello?
Hello? What? Dude, you've been sleeping for the longest time.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you trying to open the game though?
Yeah, we're studying for the test, bro.
What do you mean? We have no test tomorrow, stop lying.
Yes, we do, the English.
Oh shit, the English stack!
I think we have all experienced this. Test is tomorrow and you've studied nothing to this point. You either feel super stressed or weirdly relaxed, but the fact remains that you have a big old scary test tomorrow. The issue here isn't you should have studied 2 weeks before like a nerd, because I realize it's probably too late for you to do that, and here you are for a video on how to study effectively the night before for an A+. I realized to myself during most nights, I'd be playing like nostalgic songs from my childhood, like Bruno Mars, or hype songs like, I don't know, Travis Scott or New Jeans. It's important we realize the first advice, especially the night before, is to study without music, or if you're a music itching demon, study with classical music or lo-fi music. Recently, I was a lab rat for a psychology experiment on the effects of memorization and playing different types of music. We had to memorize different countries displayed on a board, and we had to do this twice, once with classical and once with something hype like K-pop. Now, surprisingly, the results of me and my 4 other students were so good. It was so good in showing us how stupid we become when we listen to music that distracts us. If your goal is to get the top marks and memorize maybe like 10 times better, then I highly suggest you skip on Drake and listen to some people like Mozart. Now you got your music and like your vibe set up. How should you study? How do you plan out the night? Now I'm gonna assume you're one of the kids who sleep late at night and have those crazy motivation bursts at midnight, because I recommend you the secret Asian technique by the Shaolin temples forged by Addison Yeh, the MP technique. Beginning with memorization, first your priority at the start of the night is to memorize all your content. This means use flashcards, use mnemonics, or write down all the notes from your class, from PowerPoints, I don't know, dot points. Basically, you want to memorize all these content with whatever memorization technique that suits you. This is because as long as you memorize all your content through maybe flashcards, for example, you'll be able to recall nearly 100% because your test was legit the day after and you were memorizing it like less than 24 hours before. For example, I had a business management exam the day, right? And the night before, I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? But I memorized. So I went to memorize about 2 hours and I implemented the memorization technique. And the next day I was able to recall nearly 138 flashcards. I would use Quizlet and do this for hours and hours on end to make sure I was able to recall pretty much all of these different flashcards. Now the second one is what I call the implementation. Now that you have memorized all your content, now you must complete one practice test, because at least 60 to 70% of what will be on that practice test will be on your test tomorrow. So use this knowledge wisely, do all these practice tests before you go to bed, because if you skip this step, I will haunt your dreams. Now, if your test isn't the first thing in the morning, you still have time, or maybe it's after school. This is almost like your golden key. What you do during those hours is you make sure you can do as many practice questions as you can. If you maybe have like an hour before and you're like, oh, I can't do a whole test, then go through all the solutions. At least mentally prepare yourself for this battle. Now, the reason why I find this MP technique so well and how it could beat probably people who study 2 weeks before, because the person who studied the month before had probably forgot the content he reviewed like the first 2 weeks. So now he has to go back and may not be able to recall as much as you can during this test. So this MP technique will work crazily well, but it's extremely tiresome and will probably struggle to enter your long-term memory until you practice again. Now remember guys, stay safe and good luck.